Channel 4, and of course Firm put it over the front of the iron, and Indiana beat the Spurs in that game 101-99. So here they are. This is a young man right here, Blackwell, who came from Temple. Reminds me a lot of George Gervin. Peter Goodmanson coming out right now. You'll see the entire team for the San Antonio Spurs as Kurt Nymphius is coming out. Again, we'll reiterate a point we attempted to make for you in the pregame, and that is that they score a lot of points. 122 points a game. You contrast with what they did last year when they averaged just a hair over 108 points a game, and you realize they've stepped up their game plan considerably. They go down the complete lineup. And here's Mark Brakowski, who is the center for this team. They've done a good job with what they have. Brakowski, incidentally, averaging 14.8. Many of the players on the San Antonio team, with the exception of a very few, really couldn't get any playing time on other teams they played with. You look at Dawkins and Robertson, they were #1 picks. But then go down the list, even Walter Berry, who was drafted #1 by Portland, got very little playing time there until he came here. Brakowski was a cast-off, and Bob Weiss, the coach, that you see right there, has really done a very nice job of putting this team together. And I think the caution here, the real word to keep an eye on, and that is that they're not going to wait for the arrival of David Robinson. Chuck Person being introduced for Indiana. Person averaging 20 a game. Here comes Wayman Tisdale. He'll start 17.5 a game. 18-8 is a starter in the absence of Herb Williams, who's back tonight. Steve Stepanovic, 10.8 points per game, and he's been a little soft lately. Won a game and a half without scoring a point. Vern Fleming at 14.5, and John Long at an even 12 points a game. So there they are. They're home. They've got 7 out of 9. And again, I don't think you can understate that enough. These are the games that you've got to jump on the opponent. Jack Ramsey, the good-doing doctor, he's the main man. And so now they'll square it up, get their final words, and we'll move to the middle of the floor and have an opportunity to introduce the starting lineups for you here tonight. Incidentally, at some time during this game tonight, we will be selecting the Miller Lite All-Star Player of the Game. Miller Lite and the Pacers will make a $100 donation to United Cerebral Palsy on behalf of tonight's All-Star Player of the Game. Keep that in mind. Taking a look at the matchups. And they will shape up something like this. Person, Greenwood, Tisdale, Anderson. Anderson is only 6'10", Greenwood 6'8", Brakowski 6'10", Fleming and Dawkins, that'll be a dandy matchup. And John Long will be going against Alvin Robertson. And so when Reggie Miller comes in the game, he'll get a chance to look at him. Bruce Alexander brought his comb again tonight, and Bennett Salvatore will be the officials working the game, and we're underway. So the guys with the black unis, they take it away, and we're underway. Johnny Dawkins from Duke, a second-year man. Robinson flashes baseline. There he is. They give it to him on the post up on Long. Brakowski, a muscular sort of a guy that played for Penn State in a lot of years in the foreign leagues. And a two-point shot by Johnny Dawkins, who has gained his confidence that he didn't have for most of last year and is off to a good start.
Well, there's no question there. Everybody knew that it was just a matter of time. Johnny Dawkins out of Duke was going to turn into a real good pro player.
Dawkins 18.5 a game. Person on the miss. Long with a putback. He doesn't get it. And here they come. They like to push the ball. They're trying to play better defense. They've not done so far. But they will score points. You've got to take the ball away from their guards because they can run it. And on the baseline reverse, that's Greg Cadillac Anderson, who came from the University of Houston. He is a rookie, a #1 pick, way down at the bottom of the first round. He came to them in the Laker pick as part of that deal, and we've got an offensive foul called on Indiana. Chuck Person trying to set up in the box, and he's called for the foul as you look at John Long, who has to turn it back over. So already you've got San Antonio with a 4-0 lead. Eddie Doucette, Slick Leonard, Brakowski, David Greenwood from UCLA. And on top, you got Alvin Robertson, and boy, the defense is soft so far. And we're brought to you by Chevrolet, who invite you to take the test drive of the decade in the all-new full-size Chevy pickup at your greater Indianapolis dealers. There's Person. They double on him, back to an open Long. Got to bang it and does. So we're off to the first 2 points of the game at 6-2 San Antonio. The Spurs, a good young team. Brakowski on the miss. Long climbs the imaginary ladder and brings it up with a right-hand hip to shoulder-high dribble. Long on the back screen by Stepanovic. Brakowski and Stepanovic should bang it out pretty good inside. Person deep. Still 6'2", and they've got it in the toaster. And that's Anderson. He's got a hairline that goes all the way down below his nose. This kid has really got some moss on top. And the ball deflected on a cross-court pass by one of the Pacers, and it'll be inbounded here by San Antonio. They'll send Greenwood away, and they'll let Brakowski, the center, inbound against Ramsey's Indiana Pacers.
Greg Anderson, the rookie out of Houston, has been a real surprise.
He really has done a nice job for them.
Big, strong kid.
No surprise that he's an athlete and he can rebound, but he can't put the ball on the floor as we just saw. Indiana takes it up. Bad pass by John Long. They've got it. Cross-court bounce feed. You got to put some mustard on it. You can't give it up in there half-heartedly. That was a soft one. And Brakowski on a little fadeaway J in the baseline. Tisdale's got it. Both teams just kind of flailing away at each other right now as we're off to a 6-2 start. San Antonio. The Spurs come in here as Wayman with a turnaround post-up. And Wayman Tisdale, who's averaging 17.5 points a game, makes it 6-4.
That's Wayman's spot right there, boy, and he made a good, strong move into the basket.
6-4 score, 9-18. On top, Alvin Robertson. Greenwood over the back. Greenwood is an excellent rebounder, has been his entire career. Traveling, Alvin Robertson. Robertson, all defensive player, came from the University of Arkansas. Much of the same mold that was cast for Sidney Moncrief and also Walker, who is over in Washington now by way of New York and Denver. Wayman on the double up, drives inside left, fouled on the way to the rack, and he'll go to the free throw line. 6-4 score, San Antonio.
That's Wayman inside on a power move right there. And really our big men should take advantage of a situation tonight. We got some young players in there from San Antonio, a rookie at one forward. The only veteran is David Greenwood out of UCLA.
And Walter Berry, who is their big scorer, is at the hotel with a flu, although he'll give up points at the defensive end. I know that's not going to make him real happy, but that's the book. 6'6", there's no question about his offensive ability. 6'8" kid, so they'll miss him. And Wayman ties it up with the 2 free throws. Indiana's a 78% free throw shooting team so far this year. They go down to Greenwood. Look at the double down from the strong side. Ball loose, jump ball. Wayman comes over, ties up Cadillac Anderson. Anderson got the nickname because as a college student, he used to ride around the University of Houston on a bicycle. And maybe he was one of those guys that was only wishing would make it so that he had himself a Cadillac. So they gave him the nickname Cadillac Anderson. And he's worn that moniker for the entire duration of his college career. He backed up Akeem Olajuwon as a freshman there. And the ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to jump it again. Bobby Weiss, who survived last year and is now just waiting for the day when the big man, David Robinson, will jump ship and come on over. And that's a couple years away.
Be careful.
Gone is Artis Gilmore. That's improved their game offensively as they go to more of a passing game. Look at Anderson get the rebounds. Good block off by San Antonio, and he misses the second try, but I like his game. Backdoor, John Long, bang by Anderson. Big freshman kid is showing some mettle here as he gets his team out to a pretty good start. Alvin Robertson. Boy, I like him.
Oh, he's a great guard. We got to toughen up a little bit defensively. We're not really after him real good.
He's got 4 first-team all-defense the last 2 years in the NBA. John Long, 8-8 tie. Long with 4. Indiana just trying to feel their way along till they can find a way to get comfortable and bust loose. Backdoor in the overlay. That was Johnny Dawkins on that, or was it Robertson? Robertson. Vern Fleming with a no-look drop leave feed. John waited too long and then overlaid it. He had the baseline shot and he let it go. He had the 12-footer and he didn't take it. And inside they go, and here they come, and they miss it on a bust-out. Alvin Robertson on the miss. Indiana comes down with a 3-on-2 goal rush.
Hit it, Johnny boy.
Got to do this one.
Boom,
he should have done that before, but he rings the bell this time, and the Pacers get the 10-8 lead. Long with 6, and San Antonio will take the timeout. So the San Antonio Spurs will take a timeout. And with the score 10-8 on that first Indiana scoreboard, the Bank for Achievers will be right back. Please give it to me a little earlier so I know it's coming, okay?
I've never done this before. They're telling me when you give it to me.
Well, if I've got a card coming up in the break, just hand it to me. I'll hold it, okay?
Lee Rose.
Who?
Lee Rose, coached at Purdue, is the head coach at Purdue.
Yeah.
Is his system. Kind of a slow start. They're starting to pick up a little bit now. Well, they get it in and get it up quick.
Eddie Doucette, Bob Slick Leonard. Pacers 10, San Antonio 8. And of course, they've got the big man coming in a couple of years. Meanwhile, if they have a semi-year this year, they could pick up another good man in the draft. And in 3 years, this could be some club. Patience, just like Indiana a couple of years ago, trying to build. But this team has started to emerge with a 5-5 record. Dawkins on the penetration. Lee for Greenwood. Set play. Good idea. You saw Greenwood all by himself. He couldn't make the pass.
He made the penetration there. I'll tell you, this kid Dawkins is super quick, boy. If you're going to get up and press him, he might leave you standing.
Wayman can't overplay that time, as he was being overplayed by Brykowski, and he took the pass away. Greenwood. Brykowski tries to get it to the cutting guard. Robertson to the middle of the lane. Here they come, and it's Vern Fleming. They take advantage of the break, and now they go the other way. And they try and beat Indiana back down the floor and do. And Stepanovic came over from nowhere, knocked the ball away, and it hit the underside of the basket, out of bounds to Indiana. Thank you, sports fans. You know, you help make Diet Coke the #1 diet soft drink in America. Try a Diet Coke right now, just for the taste of it. Vern Fleming running the guard line. John Long, Chuck Person lost the ball. Here they come. Dawkins tries to get that lightning quickness underway. Can't get it under control. Goes to Robertson. Robertson, Dawkins, about 38 points a game between them. 37-7 to be exact. David Greenwood, 6'8" over Person. Greenwood not a good shooter, and he takes his own rebound, and Chuck Person released to go to the other end. And Greenwood just hustled him to the ball as Chuck released to go the other end, and nobody picked him up. And he gets an easy layup. 12-10 Indiana. Took the lead first time, 10-8. There's Vern. Back to, oh, what a sweet play they ran that time.
Anderson got picked. The rookie from Houston got picked, and boy, Stipo was just wide open underneath.
They back-picked him on the baseline, and Stipo just went to the back door, found the key, and Robertson will shoot for them and hit. So Alvin Robertson. Robertson is 6'4", 190. He's a 4-year man. He averaged 17.7 a year ago. He's a little over 19 now. Down to Wayman, turn around, post up, likes that shot. Vern with a rebound in the land of the Giants, tries to take it up against the big guys. Stepanovic after a fashion, he's still dry. Wayman tried to get to it, does, has a strip, gets it back on the reload, puts it up nicely, missed, and they come out of there with it. And Indiana trying to bang the offensive boards. 2-on-2, Johnny Dawkins from Duke, and rebounded by Long. And it's taken away by Robertson. And it's on the rack and no goal interference. And they still go back with it, and it's Alvin Robertson that made it. And it's now 14-14 and the crowd upset.
Alvin Robertson, there's a set of probably the best hands in the league.
And that, again, is why he is such a fine all-defensive performer. He's been a starting all-star for the last couple of years also. And a 3-second illegal defense called against San Antonio. This is a San Antonio team that won 28 games a year ago. Now they'll bring Leon Wood and Peter Goodmanson in the game. Dawkins will go out. Brykowski will go out. Goodmanson is 7'2", 270 from Iceland by way of the University of Washington. And Leon Wood will go out. Now you've got Reggie Miller replacing John Long. So you got two of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. In fact, they might be 1 and 2. Reggie Miller and Long both over 50% on the floor at the same time. Wood will play on Fleming, and Reggie will draw the other guard as Person.
That's it, Chuck.
He doesn't square up. He doesn't take a textbook shot. He's actually turned, and that time he hit it for his first 2 of the game. 16-14 Indiana. Here's Robertson. Quick step back pick that time was Reggie Miller by Goodmanson. We got an offensive foul called on who? Peter Goodmanson. Big guy. He and Brakowski, incidentally, were involved in the deal with the Lakers for Michael Thompson. And along with them came a number 2 pick in 1990 in cash. Person on the pin down, no good. Wayman get the rebound. And a loose ball foul called on Wayman Tisdale by Ben Salvatore.
Boy, if Chuck can get hot, he can get 60 tonight. You see those outside shots that he's getting? He's just wide open. There isn't anybody within 2 or 3 or 4 feet of him.
Ed Neely has replaced Cadillac Anderson in their lineup. Neely is an 8th round draft choice, 166th player picked a few years back. He's 6'7", 240. Goodmanson. And he turns around over Stepanovic. Now you can really see that Goodmanson is a big man. He looks a little bit like Swen Nader.
He sure does.
As Person comes to the elbow that time and shoots it just below the foul line extended. 18-16, Indiana. Herb Williams will be coming in momentarily. Robertson, that shot's not there. Good block out by Stepanovic on Goodmanson and gives it to Vern Fleming. Here comes Vernon. Vernon played at the University of Georgia. Back to Stepanovic. And the kid from Missouri. As Goodmanson goes down, gives it to Vern. Back to Stipo, 17-footer, front of the rim and in.
Stipo's not shooting that ball real easy.
That one too. That baby was flat.
He got a little luck there.
He's averaging 10-8. That's not him. Greenwood, that's out of his range. He tries to hustle and beats Tisdale to the ball and can't get there. To Reggie, to Vern, back to Reggie on the thrust.
Nice
that's
play.
the way you run the break. Beautiful execution. 22-16, Indiana. As they take a little bit of an edge, and now going the other end and putting it in is Alvin Robertson. But one thing that we have seen, Slick, in the games that we have televised, and that is that the opponents are all trying to beat the Pacers back down the floor. And Indiana's got to be aware of the fact they've got to go back to the other end and cover the break. And so Jack Ramsey will take a time. And time for the Seagram's Cooler Scoreboard. Be sure to look for all 5 flavors at your favorite outlet. Seagram's Coolers. This is where the fun starts, and it's 22-18 Indiana. 22-18 score. Eddie Doucette, Bobby Slick Leonard. Couple of notes. How about Magic Johnson? He says he wants a new shoe to endorse now. He figures Michael Jordan's making $1 million a year. He's only making $500,000 a year, so he wants to go with a new shoe manufacturer. How'd you like to? I'd like to have his taxes in income. I'd be happy with that. Reggie, you saw how smartly he went back outside and opened up the middle in order to try and give Herb a little bit more room to move inside. Herb Williams having missed 7 games and back now for Dr. Jack's team. This Reggie Miller has a very strong sense of what the game is all about. And those are things you can't teach. I mean, he's got an intuition about this game. Here's an offensive foul that wasn't called as Vern Fleming checked his man Wood. Herb goes up with a half hook, and Stepanovic, it's as good as a pass. It was like a room service pass, and Stipo laid it in.
That's what it was.
Peter Goodmanson, he traveled with the ball.
That was Herbie's first shot since coming back.
Boy, this kid Goodmanson is big. He looks like he could play on that Russian team. He looks like one of those, that big Russian center. Got that 150-pound head. You know, that's a big man. He's got a head like a St. Bernard.
Well, he'll get more playing time tonight than that Russian did the other night.
The one down in Bloomington.
There's Reggie. Boom, boy. This kid's getting better and better, isn't he?
Yeah, you got to like him. Leon Wood. Wood coming over here to the near side to Charles Davis, who just came to San Antonio from Milwaukee recently. They go to Goodmanson. He's got that little jump shot. Brackets the shot. Vern doesn't get it. They're all over his back and out of bounds. It should come to Indiana. Will it? It will not. Here's a reminder. Tonight's telecast brought to you in part by Marsh Supermarkets. We value you at Marsh. Ron Anderson comes in. Chuck Person goes away for a while. Anderson had a real good road trip. Did a nice job for the boys in blue on the road. Charles Davis, you can't sink off of him. He can shoot the ball. No question about it. Davis, in case you weren't aware, is a young man that is 6'7", 215 from Vanderbilt in his 5 years in the league. But he's kicked around a lot of times. Herb Williams. Oh, that's a good way to get the shot off.
That's got to make him feel good.
Playing with that contusion on the left shin bone. Goodmanson looks to go left and then can't and then does. That's Leon Wood, Cal State Fullerton. He was released by New Jersey, picked up by this club. That missed everything but the floor, Charles. That thing missed everything but the floor, my man. And Bob Weiss says that maybe he was fouled. And so says Charles. But the officials weren't calling anything.
Sure makes you look bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, 28-20. I can do that. Reggie, steam shovels in the crowd. Herb lays it down. Ooh. And it won't fall. Up they go. Leon Wood comes to them. I like this kid coming out of college, but he's bumped around to 4 different teams in a short time. And trying to go to the middle, Goodmanson, they throw it away. When Robinson is here, that won't happen. He's a very fine passer, one of the best. Down to Stepanovic. Pump fake, backdoor. Let's put it up and try. No good. Followed by Herb. Over the back, we got a foul call. That's a good move by Stipo. You can make that move maybe once a half, maybe sometime once a game.
There's Stipo on that follow shot there. We're going to the boards pretty hard. Nothing's falling right now. I think the big thing, Eddie, San Antonio has really changed their style of play.
Oh, they have.
I mean, they're going up and down the floor, taking advantage of those quick guards they have, and where they used to play a half-court game. Well,
they're playing the passing game now, and of course, with Artis Gilmore not there, they can run the floor. Artis kind of lumbered back. But their big goal was to improve the defense. Last year, the opponent shot 51%, and they still are. So they're going to have to cut that down. Nice move by Vern.
Great move by Vern. Boy, he turned Johnny Dawkins all the way around.
Well, he did almost a 360 in the lane. 30-20 by 10.
But Dawkins, this guy can turn you around, too.
Yep,
look at this.
That. Nice drive, huh? Dawkins followed up. Herb couldn't hang on. Goodmanson puts it in. Or make that Brakowski, who just came back. So Ed Neely, old Thunder Thighs, is in there, one forward. Got Charles Davis at the other. You've got Brakowski now back in the middle. Dawkins at one of the guards with Leon Wood. That's pretty much their guard rotation. Their fourth guard's a young man by the name of Blackwell that came to them from Temple. Nate Blackwell, real thin kid. They call him 6 o'clock because he's straight up and down. Vern Fleming in the lane. Good drive by Vern. Goes back, puts it up. No. On the trampoline, Ron Anderson tries it again. Another pass, and Tisdale can't put it in. But Anderson knew that the defense was coming to him. All he wanted to do was go up and try and draw the contact to get the trip to the line, and it worked. He'll get 2.
Here's Vern, and you know, it's surprising. He goes right up the middle on Johnny Dawkins, gets the rebound, back up again. They're banging around in there. Boom. As quick as Dawkins is, it's surprising that he gives up so much defensively. Well, they've got to throw a harness around him, and he will in time because he's a very smart kid. He'll learn. It doesn't happen overnight. Now, Clint Wheeler will come into the game, and now will come Vern Fleming. 2 seconds in the quarter. Vern gets a little extra break as they go into the little respite between the first and second quarters, and that's a bit of strategy a lot of the coaches use. They'll pull a regular out of there and give him the extra time. And from half court, Davis lets it fly, and it's nowhere near. How many bedroom 1 mini basketballs are in a bedroom waterbed? Well, if you guess the correct amount of the Pacers-Spurs game on Wednesday the 25th, you'll win a complete size waterbed and accessories, and that's tonight. So they're going to do that baby right now. We played one. It's 32-22, Indiana. Why did they give me that card? That's happening tonight. You want to remind them
Well, you want to remind them so that they know that that's happening right now? Okay, did they hear me? So it's really... What is Kohl's here?
It's like a department store type.
Supermarket type thing?
No, like a Kmart or that type.
You know who that is? That's the owner of the Bucks.
Is it?
Yeah.
Big dollar volume, boy. Well, what are they waiting on? One day roller.
Redo that. Redo that. I was just trying to circle that to see what he did. Put 8 down again. What are you doing here, Peggy?
Coming back with Thanksgiving weekend games. Dropping.
Thanksgiving weekend, the Pacers are at home for a couple of big ones. Friday evening, the Atlanta Hawks and Dominique. They come to Market Square, and then Saturday, a very fine Seattle Supersonic team. And those will be 2 excellent games. Clint Wheeler will bring it up now, playing the guard line. He's the little guy, 27-year-old. He's been in the CBA. He's played by Johnny Dawkins. Give it to Reggie Miller. Scott Skiles will probably not be back for a week or 2. Herb is back first game. There he is, missing on the shot. Charles Davis with the rebound. And they try and push it up, and there is Nate Blackwell. They call him 6 o'clock. That's a great nickname. Straight up and down. Brakowski. And Frank Brakowski taking it to the middle of the lane. This is an area that the Pacers have got to improve their game in. They've got to get some help in the middle there to try and stop when Stepanovic goes out of the game, the opposing centers. Wayman with a strong move inside.
That was very strong.
34-24 Indiana. Reggie, Wayman, Herb on the front line. Or make that, let's see, they've got Reggie on the back line with Ron Anderson up front. Brakowski on the overplay by Herb. He tried to get up there and he couldn't get it. Brakowski gets it back and on the turnaround puts it in. Clint Wheeler will try and push the basketball for Indiana. 6 points for Brakowski. There's Ron Anderson, screened down by Wayman. It breaks down. He'll go to Reggie. They triangle on the left side. There's Wayman. Little turnaround, square up, in and out, in and out. Ooh, just did not want it. And a basket interference, I believe, or was it a loose ball foul? It'll be on number 23, Charles Davis.
This is Wayman with the turnaround jumper. The thing I like best, it hung on the rim there. The thing I like best is Reggie Miller. He's taken the patience to take the ball inside, and we all know he's a great outside shooter.
Smart. There he is.
There it is.
And there's that outside shot. And
you gotta love it.
Well, you said it like it was. He's shooting 57% from the floor. He's averaging 16.5 points a game, and he is definitely a candidate at this point for Rookie of the Year. We've got a long way to go. And hasn't even been around the league
But he's
once.
not a selfish player. That's,
no.
You know,
well, he knows how to play the game.
He's playing the game.
36-26 on the running half hook in the lane.
Charlie Davis will find some way to get a shot up on him.
Oh, yeah. Well, he did a nice job for Milwaukee, actually. He'd been with Washington, and he'd bounced around, been over in Italy. He's not a bad player. He's just kind of an in-betweener size-wise. They've got Anderson on him. Anderson with a little size advantage, but Davis with a bit more muscle. They go down to Herb. Herb is understandably a little rusty, but he makes the good pass to Wheeler, and he hit it. So Clint Wheeler hit it. And then he let Davis go to the other end before Anderson got back to fill in on him.
Reggie hurt his ankle.
No, that's not good.
Well, he's limping pretty good.
38-28 to score. Brakowski shot blocked by Herb Williams, and there's the value of having a Herb Williams. need to have him back for his intimidation. And here comes Reggie Miller. Reggie had a little problem when he was at UCLA last year on a gimpy ankle at times. And maybe we can get him a tape job and he'll be all right. So we'll take a 20-second timeout and remind you that whether your business needs a simple telephone system or a large PBS, a data communications plan, or network solutions, GTE has the answer. Make the smart business call. Call GTE. Reggie to the dressing room. David Craig, one of the very best behind him.
Let's take a look at it.
Does he come down hard? Up there he is right there. Looked like maybe someone stepped on his foot. Not good. So as we come back to the live action, San Antonio will inbound the ball. It'll be John Long replacing Reggie. Clint Wheeler, the other guard, with Herb Williams, Ron Anderson, and Wayman Tisdale for the Pacers. Nate Blackwell from Temple. Played on a good team. Backdoor cut, weak side. They had Wheeler beaten. They couldn't get the ball to Dawkins. A beautiful execution. Opened up the weak side of the light side. And Dawkins was there, and the pass was a little overled.
Not an easy pass to make.
But Wheeler's got to be aware of that man. He's lightning quick. Long. The defense got confused as they tried to switch up on the assignment. He had an open opportunity and missed it. Kirk Nymphius just came in the game, and he gets the rebound. Dawkins penetrates, lays it up off the glass, and put it in. You cannot beat quickness, and he's got 4. And you can't teach quickness, obviously. 38-30, Wayman. And Brakowski knocks the ball away and out of bounds. Indiana will get it.
Wayman has been playing well, been playing aggressive. If you want to go back years, a carbon copy of Johnny Dawkins, Lenny Wilkins.
Oh, yes. Good.
Lenny Wilkins, the coach at Cleveland now.
All right, Herb comes out. Had a good turn on the floor the first time. Steve Stepanovich comes in. Stepanovich with a screen. John Long was looking for the pick and roll. Steve was a little late reacting. And here they come. There's Dawkins with that speed. And they give it to Anderson, who just came back. Ball loose on the floor. And Cadillac going up against Clint Wheeler. Here's a mismatch on size. Wheeler, a little guy at 6'1". Anderson at 6'10".
Here's real speed. Here's Dawkins. Now watch. There's not enough room for this pass to be made, and he threw it kind of hard, too. Big old Greg Cadillac Anderson.
Yeah, man.
He went on the floor after it, though, didn't he?
And what do we have here? Somebody went up a little early. And it's going to be against them. It's going to be on Brakowski, I believe.
Their front line, Eddie, not a lot of ability, but every guy that they've had in there in that front line is kind of a hard-nosed type of guy that probably comes to play every night.
Overachievers, that's where they are. Brakowski, incidentally, played for Dick Carter, the assistant coach for the Pacers at Penn State. And here's Ron Anderson, maybe a little out of his range there as he shot puts it up and misses it, and here they come. 38-30 Indiana. Brakowski, 2 if it goes to the line. Gets a 3-point opportunity. That's a fine pro move.
Cardinal sin by Stipo.
Yep.
Got him off his feet. It cost him. Not only cost him a foul, but there's a chance it's going to cost us a 3-point play.
Person is back. Wayman goes out. So now you got John Long, Wayman out of the game. Stepanovich, Person in. Anderson, Wheeler, and it's 38-33. And suddenly the 10-point lead is 5. Person on the post-up. He's down on 2 men. Person wanted to go back to the safety valve over here after the double-up, and no one was there with a no-look bounce feed. And the Pacers getting a little bit sloppy right now. Ron Anderson, incidentally, had a stretch of 6 straight games at 10 points or more. They'd like to see that here tonight. Long reaching in, steps up into the passing lane, and that time Blackwell upset it himself because you've got to go, one of the cardinal rules is you've got to go and meet the ball. You can't stand there and wait for the ball to come to you. And that gave Long the opportunity to step in the lane.
And he did.
Dawkins, Blackwell, 6'4". Look at the shot he's got. Huh?
You see why he's got the uniform on.
Nate Blackwell averaged 19-8 at Temple last year and 4.5 rebounds. Person on the drive, knocked away by Nymphius. They come down with a 1-man advantage. It's a 3-point game. Anderson trying to dribble the ball, gives it over to Nymphius and uses the offhand to create an offensive foul.
Now he'll have to learn not to do that because he bang-bonged that ball all the way down the floor. Now look at this. Here's a 6'10", kicking it, stepping, doing everything under the sun, and they almost got a hoop out of it.
Well, he's got a mane of hair on him too. 7:49 to play here in the first half, and time for the ZPL scoreboard. Continuous hits, fun, and free money. More winners, more offered on 99.5 ZPL. We come here with Vern Fleming. Field goal shooting so far. Pacers 44, San Antonio 50%. And trying to get the ball inside, and yet another turnover for Indiana. So the Pacer turnovers continue. And for Indiana now, they have a total of 8. Pacer basketball brought to you in part by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's really only one light beer. Let's go, Diddy! We all know that. Blackwell into the low hole they go. Brakowski to Blackwell. Look at this rainbow shot. Three-pointer. John Long on the goal rush. He's got a
look at Alvin Robertson. They let him go.
And Alvin Robinson almost caught up with him. No Walter Berry tonight. Walter, who played for 7 teams in the last couple of years, is back at the hotel thinking about that Gray Line tour he took, and he got a stomachache today. Brakowski comes up a little short, ball loose in the lane. Brakowski fights to get it back, and out of bounds it goes.
I kind of like this Brakowski a little bit.
Now because
Michael Thompson's not a bad player, you know, that LA got in that deal, but this kid looks like he's a little bit of a comer.
Brakowski played very hard for the Seattle club. Then he was traded to the Lakers. He's a number 3 pick in New York in 1981. Ron Anderson out of the ball game. And Indiana now will bring back Person. Wayman Tisdale just came back with Stepanovic, Fleming, and Long. 7 minutes to play in the half, and they win another tip. Blackwell from 3. Person climbs the ladder. Gives it over to Vern. 1-quarter score, New York 30, Cleveland 23 in Cleveland. Traveling violation. So a turnover. Indiana averages 18.9 turnovers a game. San Antonio 18-3. Stepanovic, Person, Tisdale on the front line. John Long and Vern Fleming the guards. They take Alvin Robinson and send him right to the blocks on Long. Post him up inside. Greg Anderson starting in place of Walter Berry. Down goes Brakowski. Robertson with a pull-up jumper. Honeycombs it out. Stepanovic with a rebound. And Stipo will give it up to Vern Fleming. Stepanovic, incidentally, averaging 8.6 rebounds a game. And Tisdale.
Nice job, Tiz.
Man, he's in the middle of Broadway, and he goes right up there with it and lays it down, doesn't he?
You're right on the money, Eddie.
42-35. Indiana. Blackwell. Nymphius. Figure got to work hard tonight, work up an appetite for that turkey tomorrow. I know you and your family got a lot to be thankful for, and I wish you the very best. Blackwell. Boy, he's shooting that long range. Now he may fire up another tracer here. Let's see what he's got.
3 seconds.
I mean, he's got rainbow shots, this kid.
And he's doing it right in front of the coach, too.
Yeah, we may have rain in the building before it's over, the way he's going through those clouds. And the follow on the miss, they get 2 shots at it. As Alvin Robertson missed it, Brakowski missed it, John Long to the hole. And he just bogarts his way inside and draws the foul. And it'll be 6 o'clock Blackwell.
There's John. Let's see if he can make this pass right now. See, he waited too long. Wayman on the other side had his man beat. Now, you know, the big thing about running a break like that is if those big men are going to get out and run those lanes.
You know, on that play, we got a good idea of the way a guard shouldn't play a goal rush or a break. Blackwell, a young kid's going to learn, you got to stand back in there and plant those feet and get ready to take that shot, and you're going to get that call. But he was moving, dancing, trying to get into position so he wouldn't have to take the hit, and as a result, he got the foul.
He could have got a charging call on John.
Reginald sitting next to Scott Skiles. A couple of young players.
We don't want him hurt, do we, Eddie?
No, we do not. No, we do not.
Wayman's in such much better physical condition this year. Much quicker. And consequently, he's having a better season.
Why is his tongue hanging on the floor right now? I'm just kidding.
That's his left arm.
I just couldn't resist that. 5:28 to play here in the half. Wonder what the boys at Izzy's are doing right now. Cracking a few oysters, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Dawkins with a pull-up. 44-37. 5:14 to play in the half. John Long to Stepanovic, and he guns one deep. Person around his man, beats him to the ball.
There's three.
Down they go. Good triangle. They set it up beautifully. And right there. And you know what's nice? The way they're spreading the floor on the strong side to enable themselves to make the play inside on the entry.
And they're making the play. They're getting the ball in deep.
And that one's another one of those air specials. That thing missed everything but the wood. 46-37, 9-point lead. Turnover 10. Indiana misses an opportunity. Long sneaks in there, tries to take it away. Dawkins on the Matador move, comes up to Robertson, and on the way to the basket that time, he's fouled on the way in. I got a pretty good schedule of games in the NBA tonight. We'll tell you about it after this replay.
There's the pass from Dawkins, and here's Robertson right up the middle. He's going to go to the line.
Atlanta at Boston, Chicago at Milwaukee. Oh, that ought to be a war up there. Detroit at Dallas, Houston, Phoenix, Washington at the Clippers. Or that Washington team, they lose too many more games, and we might look for a coaching change. I see Wes Unseld just kind of hovering in the background on that one, boy.
Well, it seems like they have some personnel.
Long, almost a bad pass. Back to Stepanovic. Good job by Long. On top and almost steal by Dawkins. Down to Vern. They double down. They're doubling to the ball. They're really going to it strongly. And Wayman's playing a good ball game. He's got 12 here. But he had 20 in the first half against Portland and cooled in the second when they decided to play some D on him. Rakowski. Inside they go. That's Cadillac Anderson.
Nice move.
Strong move. Strong move. He's a confident-looking player. Pick number 23 in the first round. He slipped by everybody, this guy. Greg Cadillac Anderson. Averaged 18.2 points and 10.6 rebounds at Houston. That's not a bad player right there either.
Well, you can't give him that shot without a man within 12 feet of him.
He's got 6. Greenwood has got Person. Chuck trying to overplay in front. Weak side help coming over, and that's Wayman.
Should get a basket here. Should get something.
Got a man advantage. Knocked away. Stepanovic gets it back. Can't do it. Wayman gets the rebound. Or make that Long. Long to Fleming. Back to Long. Short. Stepanovic. And they come away with nothing. Stepanovic, wait a minute. It's not over yet. He gets it. Stepanovic in his career has averaged 15-8 against San Antonio. And he'll get the foul and go to the line. Possible three-point play. And an Indiana chance to stretch the lead to 13.
There's Reggie.
Back in the game.
You know what's happening to John? That's John Long on that jumper there. Now watch Steeple reach in and get that ball away from him. Ends up getting a basket out of it. John Long is so wide open tonight, I think it's bothering him. He's used to having guys hanging all over him, and he's getting such wide open shots he can't hit anything.
So with a 52-40 score, Indiana will take a break, their biggest lead of the ball game. They stayed right with this flurry of action, and we'll return to Market Square in just a moment or so. Okay, fine. We've gotten 50 shots already. Wow. I knew this was going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
Do you have any crowd noise at all on this thing tonight, Peggy? Hello, Peggy. Hello, Dean. Hello, audio. Hello, anybody. Hello, Mom. Can't communicate. Peggy. Tell Peggy I need to speak with her. Peggy, do you have any crowd noise you're feeding me at all? Sounds like we have none. Ah, you cute little thing. Yes, indeed. Stars in your eyes and stars on the floor. And Thanksgiving wishes coming to you and everyone for tomorrow.
No school tomorrow.
And group sales, big game, Atlanta. That's a tough little rivalry that's developing between these two teams. Atlanta Friday, and then comes Seattle Saturday. And that's a good team. You'll want to see them. Stepanovic makes the three-point play. 20 or more is a group for Pacer games. To arrange your special group night for a Pacer game in Market Square, call that number, 263-2100. Stuart Gray is going to be coming in momentarily. Deep, Dawkins, nothing. Burns got it. Out ahead, near side. Wayman Tisdale, out of my way, he says.
He's going.
And he lays it over the top of Alvin Robertson. Rikowski, they trail by 15. And at the other end, he misses. And Indiana controlling the boards. That's what you have to do to stop this team.
Oh, that was a great play. That was a great one.
I want to see it again.
That was a great one by Burns Fleming.
Jack was in my way. Never saw the play.
Oh, it was a beauty. He went behind his back and made a left-handed pass for a layup.
Alvin Robertson. Let's save that one for the highlight reel, huh?
It was a highlight.
Dawkins. And David Greenwood. Jack is right up in front of us here, and he isn't that big a guy, but put a little flesh in front of you. It's tough to find out what's happening out there. 57-42, Indiana by 15.
Ooh.
Oh, what a pass.
What a burn.
Talk about a thread-the-needle job. That was magnificent. I saw that one. And this 17-point lead is the biggest. 17-point lead.
Burn probably made two of the greatest passes that he's ever made in his life.
Indiana will get it back now as the Spurs turn it over. Taco Bell invites you to say hello to the great taste of Mexican fast food at your neighborhood Taco Bell restaurant. No Walter Berry. Stuart Gray comes in the game for Indiana. 1:50 to play in the first half.
Throw it in there to Big Stu. Let's see what he can do.
A chance.
Oh, Stu, he hits a turnaround jumper. There it is. We're calling him now.
My God, well, those aren't Bermudas hanging down from under his trunks either. That's a wrap that they use to protect the hamstrings. And on the miss, Anderson, look at him. Well, make that Greenwood, and he is tough, and he's fouled in deep. David Greenwood has, throughout his career, been a good rebounder. And no one ever doubted that. He's averaged 9-9 last year on the boards.
This is Anderson up on the shot. No, that's David after. That's David Greenwood after he got the offensive rebound. That's what put him on the line right there.
Greenwood, a 9-year man from UCLA, was picked #1 by Chicago when he came out of UCLA, the second pick overall. He really never scored what am I trying to say? He never scored that much.
I don't know, but I wish you'd say it.
Me too. I'm having a hard time getting it out tonight.
Well, get that turkey sandwich right in front of you.
Put that away from me. Prolifically was what I was thinking of. We got it, 61-44. Anyway, his career average is 11-9. They thought he'd get more. In and out. Person shot won't fall. Greenwood with a rebound. Up the middle to Alvin Robertson. Give it over to Brikowski.
Brikowski's made some good moves, Eddie. He's made some good moves to the basket for a big guy.
Well, he does. He can lay that ball down and go to the hoop pretty well. Wayman with a crossover. How about that move by Wayman? A little crossover in the crowd. 63-46, Indiana.
We're seeing some things tonight we've never seen before.
Wayman with 18 points in less than a minute to play in the first half. And a foul call on number 23, I believe, Wayman Tisdale. Well, you knew that it was going to be a high-scoring game because San Antonio gives up a lot of points. But the Pacers have already taken more than 50 field goal attempts here in the first half. Now Herb Williams will check into the game. Wayman will come out with 18.
Bobby Weiss, this surprises me. He's a protege of Dick Motta, who played half-court basketball, and San Antonio's just playing just a wide-open freelance type of game. And I don't know if Bobby's just kneeling down there in front of the San Antonio bench or if he's praying.
He's giving thanks that he's got a job, I think. 63-48, very capable guy.
Oh, he is.
He was a smart player. When he wasn't a great player, just a smart player, left-hander. He's got 3 or 4 left-handers on this team. He likes those left-handers, I guess. Herb Williams on the back cut trying to go to Vern, and he threw the ball away and out of bounds. So the Indiana Pacers on turnovers now have a total of 10. 63-48. Oh, nice drive, but he missed it. That was Dawkins again, and then trying to get the ball back, committed the foul. Johnny Dawkins, 6'2", 165, #1 pick from Duke, the 10th player picked 2 years ago.
Lightning.
Oh, boy, isn't he?
Lightning right up the middle. Boy, he just blew by everybody. But, of course, it doesn't do any good if you can't put it in the hole.
He's a weatherman's delight. When he's in the neighborhood, you know you're going to have lightning for sure. 32 seconds to play in the half. Old Stuart Gray. Stewart's got himself a little blue and white on those sneaks. And that'll get him a hot carrier's card if he keeps that up, won't it?
You know, the fans...
Put a little mortar up there.
The fans pull for guys like Stu. They want him to do good.
Well, he works very hard.
Because he tries.
He isn't loaded down with ability, but he works very hard, plays hard in practice. Attentive. He's worked hard in his game in the off year. 64-48. But again, not the most talented player, but you know, there are places for people like that. As Brakowski tries to backdoor to Anderson, finally does after a fashion on the baseline. How about 3 seconds in the lane? How about 10 seconds in the lane on Brakowski?
Look at these guys stay after. Bang, bang, bang.
Boy, they're on.
Look at them go after these backboards.
And Greenwood finally gets it. Well, Brakowski just got picked up for loitering in the lane, and they never called it.
Reggie.
3 from Reggie. No.
Ooh, boy.
And that would have been the way to ring the bell before halftime. Can we get a new parking sign that we can put in the lane down at the San Antonio end? Maybe. All right, it's halftime. And Indiana that led by 17. Wayman with 18. Incidentally, if you want to put a little food on the right side of your plate, something to think about. Wayman's career high is 35. Maybe tonight he can bust loose and get a little bit more. One thing you'll know as you follow the NBA, and that is it's never going to be easy to bust away from the Central Division, because the Central Division may be the toughest in the league. And if you take a look at some of the standings and what's going on in the Central Division, you find out that the Chicago Bulls are right up there at the top of the pack. Let's take a look at what's going on in the Central Division of the NBA. All right, here it is, Central Division. Chicago 8-2. Milwaukee 7-3. They play one another tonight. Atlanta here Friday night. Detroit 6-3. They're deadlocked, a game and a half behind. Then come the Pacers. They're 3 games off Chicago's pace. And Cleveland is 4.5 back. Not bad. Young division, aggressive division. The best in the NBA. And right now Indiana is 2-0 against the competition in the Central Division. At halftime, the score, Indiana 64. The San Antonio Spurs 50. Have a bite for us, honey. And we'll see you in a little bit on Indiana Pacers basketball. They're going to have to talk to me and tell me what's going on.
How long we got?
Dean, Peggy, somebody. You going to talk me into those things, or you? I mean, because I'm sitting there waiting for you to roll that. Okay, I didn't hear you. Were you counting me down to the standings? Because I never heard anybody. All right, now, was there music under that? Because I didn't hear any music. Okay, because I didn't hear it out here. Okay. We're gone till the end of the half.
The Pacers really have benefited from the great college programs. Wayman Tisdale, the wide body. Well, he came out of Oklahoma. You think about Reggie Miller, the UCLA rookie, a great program down at UCLA. You think about Fleming, and he came out of Georgia's program, and Stepanovich came out of a great program at Missouri. Why do I bring up college? It's that time of the year. I just so happen to have the Dick Vitale basketball yearbook with me. And the reason I show you this book with the general's picture on it, because it's my Bible. When I turn to the inside, I turn to page 84, I have my Colosso Collegians. This should excite some Indiana fans, guys down at South Bend, Indiana anyway, because on my All-American team, first team, I line up in the backcourt with Gary Grant, the great one from out of Michigan. I line up with David Rivers. That's right, the great little one, the courageous one from South Bend, Indiana. My power forward, Danny Manning, Mr. Flexibility, Mr. Versatility, a chance to be the Naismith Player of the Year. And then in the middle, I go with the big horse from North Carolina, Donnie Walsh's former school. That's right, the Tar Heels. See, Walsh, I took care of you again. I'm talking about J.R. Reed. My small forward, a guy from Wyoming, a shooter by the name of Fennis Dembo. What about Vitale's choices in the book for the top 5 teams in the country? Number 1, yes, I got the Wolverines from Michigan. Don't scream at me, all you Bloomington fans. I'm trying to take a little heat off Mr. Knight. Repeating is very difficult. Number 2, I gotta like a team from Kentucky. The Kentucky Wildcats will be awesome this year with Eddie Sutton, a tremendous front court. And number 3, right down in Bloomington, Indiana, the Indiana Hoosiers. They'll be loaded again with Callaway, Smart, and Garrett in the middle, and an improved play out in their backcourt from guys like, new kids on the block, Jay Edwards and Lyndon Jones. But oh, they'll miss that downtown bomber, Steve Alford. Number 4, I like Syracuse, and number 5, Pittsburgh. That's my top 5. Best conference in the land? You gotta believe it. It's the Big Ten. Have 5 potential teams in my top 12. Don't get mad, Gene Katie. I have you in the top 10. Katie is number 6. He comes right after Pittsburgh. A tremendous year for college hoops. And remember, the greatest athletes in the world, though, are playing in the NBA.
Hey, don't move. Pass to the side of the book.
64-50 over the San Antonio Spurs. Pacers 49%, Spurs 42%. Pacers 89% at the line, Spurs 86% at the line. No three-pointers so far in the game, and Indiana out-rebounded the Spurs 29-23. Vern Fleming will start. They go to Stepanovich. Baseline all by himself, Wayman Tisdale. And again, San Antonio trying to double on the ball, leaving a man open. So if you can sharpen up your passing, you're going to have a man open. And that's what's happened. Brikowski used the offhand. No offensive foul. See the new Chevy Cavalier at your Central Indiana Chevrolet dealer. It's one of the best-selling cars in America, and after you test drive it, you'll know why. That's Vern Fleming. Tattoos the dribble now against the defense. They go double, triple time, and inside low right. Vern Fleming again. And San Antonio staying with the same type of defense, trying to double on the ball, getting help from the strong side, doubling down from the top guard and bringing the weak side over to help on the baseline. Alvin Robertson penetrates, wide open with the jump shot. Missing that time was Dawkins. So Johnny Dawkins, and Robertson chases it down. David Greenwood, the interchange on the light side to the weak side. There's Cadillac Anderson on Wayman. And on the turn left hook, John Long goes up and pulls down a one-hand snatch rebound. Give it to Vern Fleming. It's heavy left and light right. Now becomes heavy right and light left. As Vern Fleming will be called for an offensive loose ball foul, I believe. And that's exactly what it's going to be. So Vern Fleming now with 2, make that 1 foul. That's all he has. And we're back into the flow, 68-52. Big lead, Indiana, 19 points, 61-42. Again tonight. We're always here watching Pacer basketball. Stipo steps up, takes it away from Bukowski, back to Person, and he just lays it up and in. Bobby coming back in the warm-ups. I was watching Reggie Miller, and he's starting to really limp very noticeably.
Well, it probably got a little stiff on him at halftime.
Don't know whether we'll see him. Robertson, Honeycombs pops out. Chuck with a rebound in the lane. Tries to outlet the man, and he'll bring it up by himself. He can handle a pill.
This is the time to blow them out. About the first 6-7 minutes of this third quarter.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for them.
No, open it up to 30, 35. Hit it, Chuck.
You kick them when they're down, don't you?
You got to do it in this league, or any league that I know of.
72-52. Crowd still coming back, settling in. Little concessions time. Atlanta Friday, Seattle Saturday. It'll be a different game then. Cadillac Anderson with a nice little turn post-up move. Good strong move by the rookie. I like his game.
Same kind of moves that he probably learned from Olajuwon.
72-54. They've got a good playground league down there in Houston, too, with Olajuwon and Moses Malone, and they all play, all the pros in the area. Wayman with a tough shot. Left hand, right baseline, tough angle behind the hoop, and he hit it 74-54, Indiana. Wayman 22, career high 35. David Greenwood, a voracious reader and a pretty strong driver down the middle of the boulevard. He reads a lot, like maybe a book a week sometimes. History major at UCLA. Very bright guy, and a guy that's doing a nice job here for the Spurs. Mike Mitchell not with him either, by the way. There's that little pin down, that little screen down on top, freeing Person, who comes up off the baseline. 76-56 with 8:40 to play in the third. Greenwood, Bukowski, Person with 14 after a slow start. That's Dawkins, the left-hander, another one of those Bobby Weiss favorites. Those lefties or something, aren't they? Look at Anderson. Puts it up off the back bracket, foul. What a strong, confident game for a rookie, doesn't he?
This kid's going to be around a little while. He's going to be around a while. 23rd pick in the draft.
Pacers, incidentally, Bob, had 13 offensive rebounds in the first half, which was one of the things that they had to do in order to prevent the Spurs from getting the defensive boards and initiating the break. They had to protect the ball, keep it away from their guards that like to fly, and they had to get out and try and do the job on the offensive boards, and they did. 76-56 is the score of the ball game. Pacers now watching the Spurs, who go 6 for 8 from the line, and Anderson makes it 7 for 9. Indiana 6 for 6 at the free throw strike. Our next telecast coming up in December from Washington, so we will not be with you for a while. Inside Stepanovic, and he backs down, and over the back was Anderson. Anderson, once he yielded position in the lane that time, Stipo just backed him down in there, and when you get position, if you can't deny position, you got to try and deny ball, and the kid was trying to play catch-up, and Stepanovic had him too deep in the paint. 76-57. Big hit from Missouri. Block weak side Bukowski. Anderson with a rebound. Give it up to Robertson. Push dribble for the kid from Arkansas. Inside trying to go to Greenwood. Knocked away from him by Person. Picked up by the Pacers. Long to Fleming. There's a figure 8 coming through the lane.
Wayman's got it going tonight, doesn't he?
24 points for Wayman. And Bobby Weiss says, wait a minute. Hold everything. We're going to take a time at 78-57 Indiana. didn't. Let's find out. Can we get a hold of... find out from David Craig, the trainer, what's wrong with Wayman and if Miller will play in the second half, will you?
Reggie's not going to play.
I don't think so. Hey, Joe. Wayman. Hey, Joe. And we're back as the Spurs try to take it in, and it's knocked away by Indiana. Fleming on a rush the other way, and he laid it in with the left hand. Wayman has gone to the locker room to get his ankle retaped. I don't know if Reggie's going to play in the second half. That's the word. Skiles is on the injured list, and Herb Williams is in the game after having come off the injured list. 80-57 Indiana. And it's going to be on Vern Fleming. A smile for the kid from Georgia. He had 13 assists versus Portland in the last game. And he had 2 games where he had over 10 assists. So he's moving the ball and he's scoring at 30 points against Denver. Ooh. Inside, traveling underneath, and the ball goes in, and Robertson will get the foul. Yeah, he moved the feet, and they gave it to him. He actually backs out. Watch if you can see it inside now.
Here's Robertson underneath.
There he is. You see that? Move those little bunions around.
Didn't see it.
Wayman just getting taped a little tighter, they say. He's so hot, he's running out of his sneaks tonight. 80-60. Indiana, their biggest lead of the game, 23. Anderson steals to Greenwood. Down the lane comes Dawkins.
Nice
Dawkins with the speed. And here's where you got to be careful if you're Indiana. You don't want to get lax. You don't want to get sloppy. You got a big lead. You want to continue to stay sharp. And Long on the thrust lays it up and off the left side. Here they come. Robertson into the corner. Dawkins, they may start setting it up, letting it go. And Long boots it out ahead. He and Robertson, and a foul call on John Long, a loose ball foul.
He pushed off a little bit. Watch him go after this one. Here's Dawkins, makes kind of a tough pass here. Now here's Long and Alvin Robertson going after it. Now watch John push him. He held him off. That's just like a passer going out.
And doing what?
What do they call that? What do they call that in pro football?
You mean running a fly pattern or running a post?
Well, he's running a pattern, and you know, what do they call it?
You're talking about the defense, the pass interference?
Pass interference.
Offensive pass interference. Stick to this game,
My
buddy.
vocabulary isn't very good.
Stick to this game. This is your game, man. 80-64.
Here's the trap. Here's the trap. Got to think layup. There's people open.
That's the first time we've seen that trap tonight. And they have scored 7 straight points. Indiana one time owned a 23-point lead, and now it's 80-64. Byrne turns right into the trap, and we got a foul call against the Spurs. Incidentally, the Pacers over the limit with 6:44 to play in the third. So any foul by Indiana will put the Spurs in the line. David Greenwood with a pretty friendly smile there, huh? Did you see the way the Chicago Bulls cut loose Gene Banks? Did you see that? Injured his foot this summer in a pickup game, and evidently he wasn't supposed to be playing in it. And he ripped the Achilles, and they just cut him loose.
Did they cut him?
Yeah, they turned him loose. He had to settle for less than $100,000 less than what his contract called for. They just wanted to get him out of town. Got kind of a cold way to settle business, but that's what they did.
And I saw when we were up there last week ago Saturday at the Bull game, I saw him there in the stands.
Well, they won't even let him sit with a team when he was with the club. They wouldn't let him sit with a team. They wouldn't let him come to practice. I mean, they were going to treat him as shabbily as they could, and they did. Your buddy Jerry Krause. Stipo just got called for the shoving foul in the back of Brakowski. 82-64 Indiana.
Here's Robertson trying to make the move. Here's the pass into Brakowski. Stipo got him in the back.
Reggie Miller claims he's fine, and if it's Jack Ramsey's wish, he'll play. But if not, he'll just sit it out. And as long as they got this kind of a lead, we may not see Reggie again, because Atlanta comes here Friday, Seattle Saturday. Tickets available. Brakowski with a deuce.
Really 2 great ball games, 2 great ball clubs.
And they steal another one. See the team, they're getting sloppy now. 82-66. And they got it. Nope, they get it right back. And Dawkins in the lane, leaves it off for Greenwood, overlays it. And Person gets it back. Kick it out to Vern. Vern ahead to Long. Herb Williams. And they say he traveled with the ball. I didn't see it. Turn it over, but this is bad run here for Indiana.
They've got us playing a raggedy type ball game now, and if we'd settle down a little bit, we could really burn them.
They've outscored Indiana 9-2 in this little run. Dawkins. And Herb's got the rebound. Herb playing pretty well after coming back off the disabled list. He's doing a good job on the boards.
Take 3 on him, Chuck.
And there's Herb going to a home.
There was that move we saw in Los Angeles last year.
Yeah, that was a good move in Los Angeles. Dawkins sliding and falling down. John Long, he's up okay. Indiana by 18. And the long jumper by Robertson, he misses it. Down to Brikowski. Their best three-pointer is Leon Wood. And Stepanovic with the rebound. Cross-court, Person. It's really kind of a wide-open game now. And a sloppy pass by Chuck trying to get to Herb. And here they come. And the Spurs with Cadillac Anderson putting a little ornament on the basket that time. He really did a job. They may have the worst-looking basketball uniforms in the game.
Well, their colors are the same as Los Angeles Raiders. Ha ha, you thought I didn't know anything about pro football.
I don't know. I don't like those uniforms. They look like villains, don't they? Person. And the shot won't count as a foul call. No, it's a 3-second call on Indiana. And Jack has got to be very displeased with the way his team has gone through this stretch.
If Anderson progresses, the rookie out of Houston, and David Robinson comes on board, they got 2 guys going to boards there that can dominate.
Well, what about if they end up with a high draft pick and end up with a kid like Sikely from Syracuse or Danny Manning from Kansas? And it's possible. Backdoor inside, leave it for Brikowski. Wide open was a good idea, but the shot didn't fall.
That's the weakness in his game. He can't hit that 12-foot jumper.
They're not a bad shooting team coming in. They were 50%, and neither is he a bad shooter, and that is Chuck Person. Person coming in, 50% right on the head himself, and an even 20 points per game. No Walter Berry tonight, the kid from St. John's, who's bounced all over the circuit the last couple of years. Brikowski, sloppy pass, sloppy play in the defense. Anderson picked it up, foul before he got the shot away. Check the hairline on this guy out, huh? The hairline, that crown runs right into that first furrow in his forehead.
This is Brikowski outside, gets away from Vern, picked up by Greg Anderson. We're going to see this Greg Anderson around.
Like him a lot.
I like him.
I liked him when I saw him in college. I like him here. Number 2 rebounder in the NC2A ranks as a junior when he averaged 12.9 boards per game.
He's going to have to work on that free throw a little bit.
Here's a trivia question. When he finished second in the NC2A rebounding 2 years ago at 12.9, who was the number 1 rebounder in the country?
David Robinson.
And they'll have both of them in a couple years.
Oh, my.
Misses a couple, and he missed that one pretty badly. He was not a, well, he wasn't he wasn't good either. 57% career as a free throw shooter, 60% last year. Chuck Person on top. And on the miss, they get it back. 86-68. Indiana, 3:40 to play in the third. Ron Anderson will be coming on momentarily. Leon Wood dishes over to Dawkins. Back to Wood. 3-point time. There he is. He missed it. Out of bounds. We'll take 10 for station identification. Pacers lead 86-68.
Hi, my name is Herb Williams, and you're watching Pacer Basketball on WTTV Channel 4.
Person comes out of the ball game. They've got Reggie Miller in there, and he's limping. He is not running well. Stepanovic, Fleming, Herb Williams, Ron Anderson. Reggie is out there, and he is favoring that right ankle. No question about it. Fleming to Stipo. Take it down. Put it up. Short. Follow rebound, Ron Anderson. He puts it up short. Anderson's got it. That's Cadillac Anderson for them. And a good drive to the hoop, followed by Anderson. And over the back. Cleveland 54, the Knicks 53 at the half. Atlanta 36-34 over Boston. Milwaukee, Chicago 17-17 in the first quarter. Detroit 15, Dallas 13. Herb Williams gets the 2-pointer, and now it's 88-70. 2:47 to play here in the third. Indiana with a good rebounding half on the offensive boards in the first half. San Antonio picked it up a little bit here in the second. There he is. He tries to put it down. That's one facet of the game he's going to have to work on as he booted it off the knee, and he looked like he was playing club ball for some soccer team in England. 2:35 to play here in the third. And with the 88-70 Indiana lead, time for that first Indiana scoreboard. There it is, the bank for Achievers. Get what in? No. Field goals so far, Pacers here for the game, 52%. The Spurs, 40%. Stuart Gray has checked in the game, playing center. They've got Reggie Miller, Vern Fleming. They've got Ron Anderson and Herb Williams for Indiana. Full court pressure now as they try the 1-2-2. And now it breaks down, and here they come. Ron Anderson. Anderson with Gray down in the area along the left side of the lane. Kurt Nymphius, who's been all over the board also. Backdoor goes first layup, quickness.
You can't give him that daylight.
I love quickness, and I love to see him take it to the hole. 12 points for Vern. Reggie Miller looks for the brush screen. They slide by. Dawkins gets it from Leon Wood. Big Ed Neely, there he is, trying to set a screen on Miller. Miller got away with a foul there as Nymphius takes the shot. Stuart Gray and Neely go up. Could slide a piece of paper under their feet while they were in the air, and neither one of them get it. As Nymphius couldn't come crashing to the board and come up with the ball. Indiana with Fleming. Ron Anderson, baseline, out of bounds, and another turnover for Indiana. So the Pacers with turnover number 19. They are now above their seasonal average. Indiana lost to Portland in their last game, and the Spurs have won 2 in a row. Pacers have lost 2 in a row, trying to change their fortunes at home. 7 of the next 9 here. Charles Davis fouled by Ron Anderson. So bring in Charles Davis. Came over recently from Milwaukee. Milwaukee incidentally stole a fellow away from San Antonio, this Larry Krystoyak, who they could not sign, went to Italy. Milwaukee plucked him back, and he's doing a good job for them. And then when they released Davis, he was picked up by the Spurs. Actually, he was part of the compensation for him. They had to settle on something, so Davis came down here. And I'm sure there'll be more to follow. Gets the first, missed the second. 90-71 Indiana by 19. A minute and a half to play in the third. Getting ready for Thanksgiving. And won't it be a great day tomorrow? Herb Williams rims it out. Stuart Gray out of position. They get the rebound. And then going back to get it and make sure he's got it is Charles Davis. Three-pointer from Davis. No. Stuart Gray out rebounded by Eddie Neely. Get up to Ron Anderson. To Vern Fleming. Drives to the hole.
Oh, Vern.
Stuart Gray. Gray had a good game against Portland and a foul call. Stuart Gray really played extremely well against Portland. Had 9.6 rebounds and 2 blocks, and he's been playing better.
Here's Vern with some daylight, boy, and he's going for it. He gets in under there, but this won't stay in. There's Stewart on the rebound. The foul was called.
Foul. Nymphius, he's got 3. They have 4. Herb, boy, give him that shot. More than likely, he's going to make it.
Vern's playing an exceptional ball.
Oh, Vern has been terrific.
All the way around. Passing very well. Leading the ball club.
He's really played well. Wayman is not, he's back on the bench now. Here they come with a break. Reggie in the middle on the fly. Give it up to Fleming and stolen away here by Johnny Dawkins to Leon Wood. He's a shooter. Yeah, you bet he's a shooter. He doesn't, he gives him a pretty good depth dimension to that guard line with he and Blackwell to mature, and Leon kind of a journeyman guy, but he can shoot it. With Walter Berry, what are they going to do with Mike Mitchell when he comes back? Down to Stewart. He wants to shoot.
Boy, oh boy.
Stuart Gray over Nymphius. Nymphius played at ASU and Gray at UCLA. They played against one another. Half hook on the run by Charles Davis. 94-75, 5 seconds in the third period remaining. Vern lets it go off the rim. Here they come. No time to get a shot away, and we've played 3.
Oh, he made it from half court.
But after the fact, a fait accompli. The shot won't count. We'll go to the break. And Indiana with a big lead. 94-75 after 3. This is Indiana Pacers basketball coming your way on Channel 4.
Okay, good.
Look at Alcorta walking around down there at the end like an old man.
Where is he?
Right down at the end of the floor.
Good guy.
Who is it?
Wayman probably the first choice. Vern would be the second. Wayman or Vern? Wayman probably based on his performance so far.
Hey, David.
See, we're not going to have time to read all this, Peggy. Huh?
Ron Anderson.
Okay.
He's due.
.94-75 Indiana, fourth quarter, and Bobby Driscoll of Anderson, Indiana selects Chuck Person, who's tonight's Miller Lite fourth quarter shooter. Now, if our Miller Lite player selected by our viewer hits the first points of the quarter, he'll win a Zenith camcorder. And just by being picked in a random drawing, receive a Pacer starter jacket. Chuck is not on, Bobby. Who are you going to pick?
We went with Ron Anderson. He's due, and he's the kind of guy that can score in a game like this.
All right, let's see. There he is. He's got the ball. There's Reggie Miller. Reggie, Vern. Wayman's in there.
Oh, Wayman's in there.
Back to Vern. How's it look?
Oh, Vern hit it.
Well, you can guess which Pacer will score first during the December 13th Pacer telecast and win a Zenith 13-inch diagonal color TV. And that December 13th telecast is not a telecast. It won't be till the 17th. As you get Stuart Gray, and they'll get fouled. Well, they don't have a 13th date. It's the 17th. We'll tell you more about that later.
Well, watch this. Here's Reggie coming down with the ball. Now watch this little shuffle pass. And boy, Stu is flying. Stu Gray in there. Got a chance for a three-pointer.
So on the foul, Stuart Gray goes to the line. And the foul by Alvin Robertson. 5 points for Stuart. So let's tell you again, that young man that guessed Chuck Person is going to end up with that camcorder. And it's 99-75. So congratulations to Bobby Driscoll for playing our little game. Leon Wood, Stuart Gray with a rebound. Stewart playing like a man possessed, as they say right now.
He's a little worn out, I think.
99-75. This is the biggest lead for Indiana.
Offensive foul on Wayman.
Okay, let's see if we can read this card now. You can guess which Pacer will score the first points during the September 17th telecast and win that Zenith 13-inch diagonal color television from the Pacers and Miller Lite. Send your guess to the Pacers. Include your name, address, telephone number, jacket size. The contestant drawn wins a Pacer starter jacket and maybe a TV, but you've got to be 21 years or older. In the lane, Robertson. Dump it back out to the trainer. Open shot, Charles Davis. No. Wayman's got it. Up the lane he comes. Give it to Clint Wheeler on the lob. Beautiful lead. Reggie was there, and the finish by Stuart Gray. How about Stuart Gray? 8 points tonight, 9 in Portland. Back-to-back, those are his best games, I'll bet. Leon Wood. Goodmanson shoves, gets the rebound. Boy, does he look like Swen Nader, doesn't he?
He sure does.
101-75. You remember Swen from your ABA days. He is now an assistant coach at Christian Heritage College in El Cajon, California. A little trivia for you. Come up with all that stuff, don't we?
Well, he wore that uniform. He wore that San Antonio uniform.
35. He wore the San Antonio uniform.
No,
yeah,
Swen Nader did.
Yeah, he was a Rookie of the Year down there, wasn't he, in the ABA? Robertson, left hand hook on the bank. No, fight for the rebound. Goes back to whom? Indiana. Pacers 101-75 with 10:15 to play, and Jack looking to take it to a 6-5 record with a win here tonight. Goodmanson, back cut weak side, Leon Wood. All over him is Clint Wheeler. Charles Davis on the miss. Rebound as they bounce up and down on the toaster, and out of bounds it goes, and Indiana will get it back again. Bobby Weiss just starting out in this game, won 28 games as a rookie coach last year. Wasn't a great year, but he's looking toward the future. He's a good man and a smart man. Dick Motta loved him. Thought he was a very, very fine player. Wayman Tisdale, incidentally, with 5 personal fouls. So he could go down quickly here if he's not careful.
Reggie for 3. We got it.
Well, the ankle looks like it's getting better. You got to get a little leg drive to get that three-pointer off, and a blocking foul called on Clint Wheeler. Actually, Leon Wood looked like he stepped on his own feet that time.
Probably that's
Jack thinks so too.
There's Jack. Here's Reggie. Here's the pass from Clint. Reggie in the corner. Boom, baby.
Boom, baby. He's now 15 of 29 from three-point territory.
Ooh, there's a nice shot.
With the left hand yet. That is Brakowski. Frank Brakowski. I may have called him Mark before, but his real name is Frank, and I know his mom and dad will be happy I straightened that out. 104-77, Indiana. Wayman, good drive, lays it up with the left hand, trying to turn the body to the defender and draws the foul. That's a good move by Wayman. Incidentally, Boston leads the Atlantic 8-3.
There's Wayman. He's going to his right, which is a little bit unusual. Gets hammered.
But he still uses the left hand.
Gets hammered. He had to come back to that left hand, didn't he?
Peter Goodmanson. That's a name and a half, isn't it? Goodmanson, Washington University, 3rd round draft choice originally of Portland in '81. Didn't play '86-'87 because of disc surgery. And he played and coached a couple years over in England. Wayman Tisdale now makes it 106-87 with 24 points. And 106-77. Charles Davis. Nate Blackwell. Played for John Chaney at Temple, and Brakowski gets a couple more. So Frank has got 19. Frank has done a pretty good job for them here tonight, averaging 14-8 coming in. Wayman to Stuart Gray. They just swing the ball to Ron Anderson, and a standing Springer.
That's what I was hoping would happen at the start of the 4th quarter for that television set.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out that way, so a starter jacket's going to go to the young man. He was going to go for a cam quarter. I almost gave one of those away to him. But he'll have to settle for the starter jacket, and those are nifties. Brakowski again. He's got some pretty good moves in there with that left hand, doesn't he? And a loose ball foul by Stuart Gray. Stuart Gray is really out of gas.
Here's Brakowski. Oh, he's got good moves inside. I think the part of his game that he needs to improve is that 12 to 15-foot jumper.
108-79. Cadillac Anderson is in. Charles Davis is out. Leon Wood way outside. And he leans in and takes it. And misses it. And Gray's got it. Clint Wheeler. Oh, boy, he had his opportunity. And they cheat him, man. That's Greg Anderson, but Gray's back to cover. And Anderson again losing the ball as he tried to put it down. That's what he's going to have to work on. And there will be a foul. Bobby Weiss's Greg Anderson. You know, it's time for that one taste you've made more popular than any other. Coca-Cola Classic. Because when Coca-Cola's part of your life, you can't beat the feeling.
Oh, he threw the elbow. He threw the elbow.
And that cost him. That is an elbow foul, and you'll get the shot right here. Well, let's see if they're going to call it 1 or 2 shots. I believe he should get 2 on an elbow. Yes, sir. He should get 2, and he will. You can't throw the elbow in the NBA. And a reminder that tonight's telecast is brought to you by Marsh Supermarkets. We value you at Marsh. Ron Anderson. It's a good thing that elbow caught him in the chest area and not up around the eyes. And so the Spurs bring it back now as Anderson makes 1 of 2. 109-79. Indiana leads by 30. And Frank Brakowski makes the 2-pointer. Frank Brakowski. (109-81). 7:53 to play here in the game. And he makes the 3-point play. (109-82) now the score of the ball game. Well, we mentioned Coca-Cola. You can get those big giant bottles of Coke with a Pacer schedule on the side of the bottle now. They're very attractive. You get a good drink and you can get a schedule to boot. Reggie Miller. Wow. On the baseline, Sir Reginald. Miller, the filler. Now he's known as that from now on, right? He can fill it up. Look at Anderson. Does the 360 and puts it in. That's a strong move on a 6'7" man guarding him. 6'10" Anderson, 6'7" Ron Anderson. No relation. Cadillac going against Ron. Wayman. Bad shot. Yeah, 3 men on him. He had a man open and he didn't find him. And Goodmanson just throws it into the first row. Oh! Jim Biddle missed an opportunity to get the job done, and he turned his head away from it. Some guy standing there with a cup of liquid sport at the Market Square Resort goes all over the floor. Yeah, what the heck, you know? Be thankful it didn't hit you in the squash. After all, it is that time of year.
It would really have been a dandy if it hit that gal that sat next to him with that.
I hope that guy doesn't make a living. I hope he doesn't make a living with his hands, Bobby. He's in big trouble. Dry up the floor. That's a good move. I've seen a lot of accidents over the years when people have spilled things on the area right outside the lines. And one that comes to mind, first of all, Lucius Allen in Detroit with Milwaukee back in the 70s. He turned the corner, went up the baseline, spilled water. Stuart Anderson. And Lucius was done for the playoffs. 113-84. Indiana with a big lead. Plenty of tickets for Atlanta and Seattle Friday and Saturday. Hope you'll be here. Take a break for some turkey, and then let's cook the Atlanta Hawks goose. 113-84, 6:38 to play. It's been a runaway ever since the Pacers pulled out on front 10-8. Right now, with a break, it's time for the WZPL scoreboard. Continuous hits, fun, and free money. More winners more often on 99.5 WZPL. Herb Simon. And I know that he is pleased with the way his team is performing tonight. They've turned it over 18 times in a wild, wide-open game, while the Spurs have made the mistake 22 times. Happy Thanksgiving from the Simon family to yours and from the Indiana Pacers. 113-84, the score of our ball game. The Indiana Pacers, Cadillac to inbound against Ron Anderson. Brakowski on the baseline. Leon Wood inside to Clint Wheeler, and he put it up and in. Clint in. Scott Skiles will be back in a week or so. And then, of course, the decision as to what they're going to do with Brian Rowsom or Clint Wheeler. They've got to make some personnel thoughts. Stuart Gray's played very well tonight. Chuck Person, and he drills one. GTE, telephone system, data communications equipment, office automation systems to solve any business communications problems. Make the smart business call called GTE. Dial in the Pacers for group sales also. Goodman's son. Gee whiz, Peter. You want to get that one on videotape so you can show the grandkids someday. And he's fouled on this play.
Here he is, going to his right. What do you call it, Eddie? Right up the boulevard?
Down the boulevard.
Down the boulevards.
And the foul that time on Indiana. And it will go on Ron Anderson. And a chance to make the three-point play. Anderson with 2, Indiana with 4, the Spurs with 3, and we're in the fourth quarter, and we're heading toward the finish line. Wheeler, Reggie, screen down Stewart, Bango. UCLA screening for UCLA. And UCLA has come up with a pair. Reggie with 14. Out of bounds, knocked away. The Spurs will get it back. Pacer basketball brought to you in part by Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. So Gray comes out. Good job for Stuart Gray. He had 10 points, a bunch of boards. And in comes Greg Dreiling. And the ball on the floor. Who's got it? Clint Wheeler. He's going to beat the rest of the crowd. Good quick move by Clinton. Yes, sir. Oh. Hey, how about that move, huh?
Wire to wire.
Clint Wheeler from William Patterson, 6'1", 185. The other end, Peter Goodmanson, no block out, but there'll be a basket interference, I believe.
Here he is, right up the chute.
Yep.
There's the offensive goaltending.
Ron Anderson, Greg Dreiling, Clint Wheeler, Chuck Person, and Brian Rowsom has just come in for Indiana. 6'9", 225, the rookie from North Carolina, Wilmington, a second-round pick, and he averaged 21.8 points a game last year. So you've got a bunch of people that don't play a lot out there with Chuck Person and Reggie Miller. Screen down, not real well executed, but he still almost hit it. The screener was not there. Blackwell, figure 8, laid it in. And that's Charles Davis. Lots of games tonight. Incidentally, Michael Jordan leading the NBA in scoring at 33.8. Corzine leading in field goal shooting percentages of 67, but Reggie's among the leaders in the top 10 with 57%. And as they bring it to the other end, a whistle and a foul call on San Antonio. Charles Davis gets the call. That's team foul 4, personal foul number 2. Bobby, what do you think about Albert King signing today with Philadelphia?
He must have got what he wanted, but I noticed that New Jersey took the compensation on it and didn't try to come back and sign him.
Second-round pick in 1990, something like that.
So they didn't contest it.
Reggie Miller out. And on the missed shot, here they come with a rebound. Chuck's knocked off the floor. They put it up. Here's where you can get hurt if you're not careful. And Person goes down hard. Here is where you can get hurt if you're not careful. A big lead, 119-90. A foul call on San Antonio with a little over 4:18 to play.
Here's Dreiling on the rebound, and there's the fouls right there. Almost tore his arm off. This might be a good time to give Herbie a little bit more time.
Yeah, not bad. You got Anderson, Person, Wheeler, Rowsom, and Dreiling. Here's something to think about also. We're giving you a lot of food for thought tonight. Reggie Miller's on a pace to break the NBA record of 3-point field goals. The record is 92, held by Darrell Griffith. Reggie is on a pace right now where he could go to 115, which would he'd soar by the mark. But he is that good a three-point shooter, and he's on the bench right now. The best field goal mark from three-point range is 48%. That's Kiki Vandeweghe. And Reggie right now is at over 50% from three-point territory. That's Leon Wood down to Greg Anderson. Doubled by Rowsom and also by Anderson. And the three-point shot missed by Blackwell. Blackwell's not having a good shooting night. But he is rapier thin, isn't he? And he misses it. Goodmanson goes back, missed it. Foul call. Well, it'll be on Greg Dreiling. Well, you have a couple of mastodons in the middle now, and Stuart Gray is going to come back in and try it again. Boy, he thought he was all over. He thought he was done for the night, didn't he?
We've got the two centers in there now, Stuart Gray and Greg Dreiling, who, let's see what they do as a tandem.
Well, actually, they were fighting for a job before the season, and now they're both on the same team. But Stewart was ready to sit on the bench the rest of the game and yuck it up and accept the kudos, but he's back in there. Jack says, you're not done, Stu. You're going to work a little bit here. 121-92, 3:44 to play. Indiana on the best side of Alaford. They don't get many of these. Anderson, biggest margin of difference between these two teams was 33 points, and that was a year ago. Was, I believe, as Leon Wood takes it in, if my memory serves me right, it was, yeah, just about a year ago.
You have to sit back and enjoy these kinds.
You bet. Stuart Gray in a fadeaway.
That's two of those he's hit tonight.
Well, he's had a career. The score of that game, incidentally, and it was just about a year ago, 130-97 on the 8th of November. So a little over a year ago, 1986. Backdoor Anderson. You can't give him continuation on that, can you? Did they give him continuation on that? I would think not. Did they?
Let's take a look at it. They're going to give him the basket here. Here's the pass into Anderson low. Makes the reverse move.
He's fouled right there, and he continues, and they give it to him. He'll get a three-point play. So Greg Anderson having a pretty good night. 15. And misses this one. Then Stuart Gray goes to Clint Wheeler. Up to Brian Rowsom. Off the bracket, tipped by Dreiling, saved by Wheeler, in the air and off the body of Wood. Good head play right there. No one to pass to, and he banged it off the body of Leon Wood. And we'll have a timeout with 2:50 to play in the ball game. The Spurs, who won only one game in their last 15 on the road, are going down to another loss here tonight. 2:50 to play, and on the Seagram's Cooler scoreboard, enjoy a Seagram's Gold Wine Cooler at our next home game at Market Square. Seagram's Coolers, this is where the fun starts.
Tisdale, Fleming, or Gray?
Gray, Vern Fleming,
or
Tisdale. What do you want to do? How about Wayman? Wayman, Tisdale, or Vern? Wayman really put him over the top early enough, right? Got him the big lead. Who do you think?
Stuart Gray.
After the fact. The horse was in the bottom of the barn by then.
Wayman had a good ball game. So did Vern.
Wayman. What's Wayman shooting in the game?
Right.
2:50 to play in the game. It's 123-96 Indiana. And they've had this one under control for some time. Rowsom put the ball in, but a foul call in the Spurs before they get the 2. 123-96, as I mentioned, lots of people have had good games here tonight.
This is a nice move by Clint Wheeler baseline. This is what set it all up. It pulled the defense over, and he made a nice layoff there to Brian Rowsom for the layup.
Well, Rowsom will go to the line. And the kid's got a pretty nice touch. Did a big job against IU last year. 21.8 points a game. He shot 74% from the line in college. 125-96 now, Indiana. Boy, Stuart Gray's got a nice line going here tonight. He was 6 for 6 from the floor, 7 rebounds. Wayman is 11 for 16. 5 or 6 rebounds. Leon Wood trying to go to Goodmanson. It hits 3 bodies, and it's picked up by Charles Davis. And there's a big log jam in the land of the Giants, and who comes out of there with it but Greg Anderson. Cadillac. Rowsom wanted to go up the floor, couldn't get there. Block shot, Dreiling. And again, this is really a sloppy game right now.
You're going to have to rebound it again.
And Wood, look at them banging for the board. Dreiling got knocked clean off the floor that time by Greg Anderson. They save the inbound, and they get it in the hands of Wheeler. Makes the pass, Stuart Gray. Oh, Stuart. Oh, look out, Stuart. Boy, he looked like a possum hanging on a line there down somewhere in the Kill Hills of Kentucky.
With no fear, here's Clint, a 3-on-2 break. Now watch old Stuart. Stuart Gray in. And boy, he went in there to hang it, didn't he? He almost hung himself.
Doesn't he look like an old possum hanging from a clothesline, huh? Gee whiz. Well, I tell you, some of those old guys up in those hills in Kentucky can relate to that one.
I tell you, Stu's got to feel good about the way he's played tonight.
He's going to feel a lot better when he sits down and starts plucking away at that bird tomorrow.
Boy, and I guarantee you, he can handle a big one, too.
All by himself. About a 26-pounder. 126-96. Pretty mild night in Indianapolis tonight. You know the cold weather's coming, don't you? Make sure you stay warm. Call your Carrier dealer in Indianapolis on Friday. Forget it. They're not going to be there tomorrow. Anderson. Over the back goes Dreiling, and the kid from Kansas has it swiped away.
Greg's having a hard day. He's getting the rebound, but he's having a heck of a time getting it out of there.
Big old farm boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't lead the cows out of the gate. He just picked them up and put them over the fence, didn't he?
That's our version of the Twin Towers out there.
Yeah, Twin Towers is right. A couple of twin silos is what they are. 1:44 to play in the game. Well, we're having a little fun here tonight, folks. Why not? You know, a nice lead. You don't get too many of these. Everybody relaxed, having a good time.
That's it, Greg.
Thanksgiving, not too many hours away now, and be thankful for what you got.
Get in there.
And he misses on the second one. A year ago, the Spurs started out 8-25. This year, they're 5-5 and a much different looking team. Blackwell, the left-hander. Blackwell has had a cold shooting night. Blackwell now is 1 for 6. Making 1 for 7. And Charles Davis stayed